York Times #1 best-selling authors. Thank you for talking with us today.
Our pleasure.
Great to be here.
Linda, I'd like to get your thoughts, first of all, about the Three Deceivers.
You know, I think this has really helped us. I mean, we've kind of gone on this path for a lot of years, but to actually have it written in a book is good for us too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's about the things that we struggle with as well. I can testify that Richard struggles with control. He likes to be in control. And it's really helped him as much as us and our relationship. I think it's really helped us to realize we need to be interdependent with each other. And
Are you saying I was a control freak and you were an ownership freak, and so those were two of the
that might
three
be a good
deceivers,
description.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
But we never had a problem with independence because we both realized we were completely dependent on each other,
Interdependent, yeah.
I think all of our writing traces where we are in our lives. And I think where I have been for the last 10 years or so is in a place where I'm trying to see the world and see my own life in a more spiritual dimension. And that's so hard to do in today's world. All of our measurements are economic. All of our measurements are materialistic. That you can't read a newspaper or watch a television show or walk out and have an interaction without it being based essentially on economics and on competitive measurements. And when you strip those down, they're really about control, about ownership, and about independence. And we honor those concepts economically. I mean, they're wonderful. They're what our country's based on. They're what free enterprise is based on. They're what motivation and self-initiative is based on. And they're wonderful physically and economically, but they are lies spiritually. And people have such a hard time of not letting it slip over and say, I want to control everything. And then everything you can't control, which is most things, becomes a frustration. And everything you can't own becomes a frustration. And the bottom line for us is we've realized you can't own anything. You can't really control anything, and you don't want independence. You wouldn't want the Three Deceivers. But until you expose them, people assume they want them, and they become our false gods. They become our idols.
Well, I think it helps you to step back and look at yourself and say, I've been caught in that trap. That is exactly right. This isn't important. This comes at such a perfect time in our economy because there are a lot of people in a lot of trouble right now. And if you step back and say, you know what? What's really important? What's really important? It really lifts the burden and helps you
So you're
realize
saying if
it.
someone's lost their stocks or their bonds or their house, they can read this book and they won't even feel bad anymore. It's like, I didn't own it anyway. That's another interesting thing about this kind of concept. You don't go to Amazon or to, SimonandSchuster.com. You go to the book. You go to the3deceivers.com. And that's the way it'll be with other books, I think, too. You'll remember the name of the book. You go there, you read about the book, and you buy the book. And the other interesting thing about it is that I'm not a person, I have no patience, frankly, with a lot of multi-level marketing or things that require people to buy inventories and so on. I'm really worried about that because I've seen it damage people. But I love the idea of me saying to you, I really like this book, why don't you buy it? And here's my customer number, put this in when you buy it. And if you buy the book, maybe I get 50 cents or something for referring it to you. That's hopefully not my reason for doing it. But I don't have any investment. I haven't bought the book and now I'm trying to sell it to you. I've just recommended it. And there's something sort of, maybe this is an indication of how my mind works, but if there's 40% in a book that a bookstore usually makes, right? Bookstores, it's always annoyed me. I shouldn't be this candid. It's always annoyed me that I'm an author and my royalty percentage is less than a third of what the bookstore makes. I don't think the bookstore did near as much work as I did. Why should they make 3 times as much as I did on that book? So maybe I'm a little perverse in thinking this, but I'd rather have the money that would have gone to the bookstore go to person A, B, and C who recommended my book. I'd like to pay them. I'd like to say, thanks for recommending my book. Here's $1. So this system actually allows people to, get a little, maybe they can get enough back from recommending the book that they can buy another book.